Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
I'm Sarah.
And this episode is sponsored by Katie Heacock. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like that it sounds like peacock.
Yes.
I like it.
It's a rhyming word.
Today we will be discussing Chapter 12 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the Polyjuice Potion. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're not hiccuping during your reread. And you're ready to dive into the details. Before we begin, Megan with Weekly Profit News.
No, social media news.
Oh, gosh.
So actually, we just decided to change this up, so it's okay. So we'll just roll with it.
My brain.
Tiffany, we still love you.
Listen, when you do something 34 times in a row, it's honestly to stick.
Yeah.
Now I gotta get out of the habit.
It's okay.
I know, I'm sorry.
Darn it.
You can introduce it after the social media.
Yeah.
I think you still should.
Can I still say Megan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be sad if you didn't.
So we wanted to give you guys info on all of our social media channels. So Swish and Flick podcast can be found on Facebook or Swish Flick Cast on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure that you also join our Facebook group for discussion as well. It's an amazing community that keeps on growing every day. Also, make sure that you head on over to our YouTube page and subscribe for all of our newest videos. We try our best to post a vlog a week. I've been doing really good lately.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
So,
Truthfully, though.
we not only have our podcast posted there, but weekly vlogs. Sometimes you get to see Sarah and I cook, or mine and Katie's adventures, or who knows what.
I've missed all these cooking experiences, and so...
Sounds like a personal problem.
It is. And the next one I want to be at, and can I choose the food?
Sure.
You can make it.
We'll all die.
You're not, I've eaten things you've made, a.k.a. a pot roast. And
Yeah,
they're
your pot
delicious.
roast is
That's
delish.
true.
Maybe we should do a vlog on your pot roast.
What?
It'd be like,
Here's a hunk of meat.
Here's the crock pot.
Salt and pepper, you done. Like, what do you want? No, I just don't. I don't find joy in cooking.
I don't either. It
do.
stresses me out.
I just don't.
Nope.
Katie gets in a real bad mood when she has to cook dinner.
I hate it. I mean, like, I'll do it, but I hate it.
Crockpot, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, make sure that you head on over to YouTube and follow us on our crazy Potter-filled adventures together. Subscribe, like the videos, share them, and make sure you comment. We always try to get back to everybody who comments. And you can also join us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files podcast, which comes out twice a month, a Google Hangout session, and you can even be a guest on the Felix Files. So head on over to patreon.com/swishflickcast and choose your support level. Shout out and huge thank you to all of our current patrons. You make this podcast possible with your support.
True.
Thank you times a million.
Thank you. 3.
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh, that was good. It's going to be a good day.
It's gonna be good.
now it's time for the Weekly Profit with Megan.
If that could be the intro every time, please.
It took a lot of effort.
Alrighty, weekly profit news this week is that just yesterday, Cursed Child previews officially began in New York.
Crazy.
So, they also released pictures of what the new Lyric Theater looks like.
Oh,
and
it's so
it
pretty.
is gorgeous. Did you guys see the pictures?
I saw the outside. Is the nest, though, still in the same area?
Yeah.
Have you seen the
No,
inside?
but the inside.
No, outside. What did I say?
You said,
Wait,
I've
what?
seen the outside.
Okay. That's what I've seen.
Oh, okay. They released pictures of the inside renovated.
Oh, okay.
And it's beautiful.
It's only going to get worse.
So they redid like the lights along the wall, and they're like dragons or gargoyles or something, like holding a lantern.
Dang.
It's beautiful. And then just like the whole visual of the theater just looks really cool. Very Potter-esque.
I love that it's like it's meant for this story. That's so cool.
Which makes me believe that it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
So, also, they were posting pictures on Twitter all day yesterday of like the preview, like the first preview and how it was going. There's this beautiful picture of, I think it's Harry, like on the stage with like all I don't know where he's at because I've never seen it, but it's like a scene of him and they were about to start the part 2 preview. It's a really good picture. So head on over to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child's Twitter and J.K. Rowling's Twitter. She was retweeting everything. It looked really awesome. And you know, they also did the Friday 40. So anybody who's going to New York and wasn't able to get tickets, people who live in New York, like try to do the Friday 40. Who knows? They're apparently really good seats for cheap.
Yeah.
So,
and if you go, like, share your experiences along the way.
Yeah.
You don't get to go until like
next year.
Please just blast our page with pictures and updates and everything.
Pictures, what you thought about it. Like if you liked the story before.
Yeah.
Do you still like it just as much?
Did
even
seeing
more?
it change your mind?
Or if you didn't like it, if you now like it, tell us everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You look so excited.
Katie's giving me this little smug smile because it's the recap.
People want us to record you doing
because
that.
I'm gonna look terrible.
We should put a vlog together of like just us recording so that people can see our little mannerisms while we record.
You're gonna think that we're epically
Insane.
weird.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of facial expression, body expression to get these things out.
That's right.
All right, so recap. So the Polyjuice potion was coming along nicely, but they still needed ingredients for it. So the trio actually caused a diversion in Snape's class and stole from his personal store. That's very brave. Those Gryffindors. So Lockhart came up with the idea of a dueling club, and we found out Harry can speak Parseltongue. So now everyone thinks that he's the heir of Slytherin. Were you translating for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Open.
Open all the time. That's the only word she knows.
That's the only word I know how to say.
And more people are getting petrified. Justin can never say his last name.
Finch Fletchley.
Thank you.
Finch Fletchley.
I just can't. It can't roll off my tongue. And nearly headless Nick. A ghost. How can that happen to a ghost?
Shocking
Crazy.
face. Do you have a summary?
No.
Moving on.
I see some words written in the doc.
So Harry has a visit with Dumbledore, and soon Christmas is upon them. The Polyjuice potion is ready, and after a few turn of events, Harry and Ron make it to the Slytherin common room. When they make it back to the bathroom, they've discovered Hermione has gotten herself into a hairy situation. I'm so glad I didn't read that before this moment.
I love that. I mean, not that I know what happens, but you know.
Oh, I know what.
Kudos, ma'am.
Good job.
That was a beautiful
Welcome.
summary.
Kudos.
I have all my summaries done for this entire book.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, look at me. Overachiever.
My heart is like so proud right now as a type A person.
I almost started Prisoner of Azkaban, but I was like, no, I
was
read something else.
I was reading
God, I can't wait.
these chapters, and I'm like, we're so close to Prisoner of Azkaban.
We are getting really close.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Spoiler alert, that's Sirius Black.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So
I love him.
He's seriously the coolest person ever.
seriously though.
Seriously.
Seriously?
How many of those jokes are we gonna do throughout
Oh,
that whole
God.
book?
Oh, I can't wait.
They're going to hate us.
They're going to love us.
Well.
Some of them will.
All right, so we pick up after Justin Finch Fletchley and Nearly Headless Nick were attacked and petrified.
What?
I know. Yes.
Are you petrified?
Of being
being
petrified.
petrified?
Keep going.
Are you worried that the spiders run away?
That needs to be like the music for one of our episodes.
Oh my god.
It does.
I can put it in.
All right.
Are you scared to walk through the hallways? Are you worried that the spiders run away? Are you petrified of being petrified? Are we going to have to save the school again? We've got to save Ginny Weasley from the basilisk.
So McGonagall leaves him in this room, and we find out it is Dumbledore's office. And so he has a chance by himself to examine the office and look around. at all the things that Dumbledore has. And so
I love this scene.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so good. So it says Dumbledore's office was a large, beautiful circular room. I like that it's circular because it's different. And there were funny little noises going on and silver instruments on spindle-legged tables that were whirring and emitting little puffs of smoke. Yes, ma'am.
I love how the movies portrayed Dumbledore's office. I think they did it perfectly.
Especially with hearing the instruments and stuff. What are they doing, though? What are those things?
What are the instruments doing?
really.
I bet you they have something to do with transfiguration. Because in the trailer for Crimes of Grindelwald, you see this like weird white, tall, I don't know what it is. It's an object that's like in the classroom with Dumbledore. We also see that exact same instrument in his office in the Potter films.
Get out.
So it has to have something to do with transfiguration. I would assume, at least.
Mind blown.
They do not leave out the details in these movies.
Unless it's the Marauders.
Well, I was specifically talking about the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Fair enough.
Because, like I've said many times, I love that we don't have anything to be disappointed about with these movies
true.
because, like, there's nothing to compare them to. And I love that they are going back to Potter and bringing things, connecting them even more.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah, so somebody pointed that out. I think somebody pointed it out in our group, but I also read it, like, in another article about the trailer.
Well done, friends.
That's
well
cool.
done. So the walls were covered in portraits of previous headmasters and headmistresses, and there's an enormous clawfoot desk, and on a shelf behind the desk was the sorting hat. The
Swarting hat.
Swarting. And so Harry has this urge to try it on again because, as we read in the last chapter, he needs to make sure that he was sorted into the correct house because he's having some major self-doubt.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if he could be the heir. He doesn't know if he was in the wrong house because of what that sorting hat said before. So he puts on the hat, and I love that it's still much too large for him because he's still little.
He is.
Yeah.
I hate how they do this in the movie. He doesn't put the hat on.
He doesn't put it on. He's just like
talks
talking
Just talks to him
it.
from a shelf. No.
So the hat.
But you know,
go ahead.
Sorcerers and Chamber are like the closest to the books, I think, of all the movies.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I can't be too mad because they did a lot of other things well.
that's true.
I can be mad.
Hold on to it. It'll just eat away at your soul.
Yeah, pretty much.
In your bonnet.
Be in your bonnet, Harry Potter.
I like in the movie how it just says Potter, though.
Yeah. But we have
I
to
was
know that
reading
it's
it
Harry
and I was
Potter,
like,
because we don't know that.
this is true. I'm like, it just doesn't flow as well.
Yeah, I agree. Because they always use last names.
Yeah.
And so the sorting hat, like it already knows what's going on in Harry's head. It knows his inner struggle. And I wrote, Harry was difficult to sort. So do you guys think that this was the Horcrux or just Harry?
I think it was definitely the Horcrux.
I can definitely see that being an influence. I mean,
Because
that's
while-
literally a part of him.
Right. And like while Harry is ambitious, for sure.
Yeah.
He is more so brave, I would think, in terms of his character.
He's way
But
more
Slytherin
Gryffindor
and
than
Gryffindor
Slytherin.
are similar anyway.
They are.
So, but I think that like the strong influence that the hat was feeling was the Horcrux inside him.
Okay.
I have always thought that.
I agree.
Well, I've always thought that after I knew Harry was a Horcrux.
Right. What do you think?
I mean, I can understand that point of view, but I also still think that, like we've said before, they're so similar that maybe he's like, you could have done great, even with the Horcrux not in your system. You would have been great. I think you would have done well in any house. But I think you could say that for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, we see Harry doing all of these things, and yes, he is brave and blah, 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 and yes, he has Slytherin-type traits and stuff like that. But it just makes me wonder, does he have those traits because of the Horcrux, or do we think that Harry without that would have those traits? Like,
Well,
I just
take a look
don't
at
know.
Harry and Cursed Child.
That's true.
But honestly, if you
'Cause
look
he
at his
doesn't- it's not there
character,
anymore.
he's not really anything like the Harry that I would have thought he would have turned into. But he didn't have parental influences to really know how to parent.
And also,
well.
like, you know, he had such a tumultuous childhood, so now he's thrown into being like a normal adult. Yeah, I saved the wizarding world.
And he's
but
never been normal.
I just have to be, I go to my job 9 to 5 now. I'm not, you know, fighting off Voldemort or fighting off evil wizards really anymore. And I'm doing a lot of paperwork. And I have a wife and 3 kids where he never had that growing up. He had a horrible childhood. And then every year at Hogwarts, someone was trying to kill him, basically.
Yeah, nothing about his life was normal leading up to his pretty normal life. You know, his normal adult life.
Yeah, he's probably like floundering because he's like, I don't know how to do any of this. I don't know. You know, he's so used to having all of that excitement, whether it was good or bad when he was growing up, and now has a mundane life.
He never knew normal.
I come home. I go to work. I come home. I don't know.
I father these children and don't know what I'm doing, but who does really in the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's just that was an interesting question to pose.
Somebody, gosh, I cannot remember who posted it in our Facebook group, but somebody like talked about what Harry would be like if he was in Slytherin, and they kind of did this like parallel story as to if Harry had become friends with Malfoy, would he still have been good if he was sorted into Slytherin, or would he have gone down the wrong path being friends with Malfoy? But I think that, like, deep down, I think it was Lacey said, and I really liked her answer. Basically, she said that deep down, Harry was always going to be good, regardless of where he was put. He would have gotten different information based on who his friends were if he was in Slytherin. And, like, imagine his summers at the Malfoy Manor instead of the Burrow or something like that, you know?
Tiffany's face.
I know.
Do you think Draco would have changed if Harry was in Slytherin?
Yes,
That's
because
what she
he's
was
malleable.
saying. Yeah, that's what she was saying. That, like, Draco basically, we may have known Draco's true side earlier if Harry had become friends with him.
Yeah, I completely agree with that because I don't think Harry would have ever gone bad.
No.
Because if you look at him, he, in his moment on the train or, like first up, right? He's in there with Ron. Malfoy strolls through. He had an opportunity, and he to go over and hang out with Malfoy and all of that. Which
and I
would
think
have been
if he would have
potential
made
change.
that choice, he may have wanted to go in Slytherin, and he would have gotten placed there, right?
You think? I think he would have. I think he saw right through him. He saw right through him
No,
in
I'm
Madame
saying
Malkin.
if Harry decided to change his mind at that moment and had been like, maybe I should give this kid a chance. Maybe he would have gotten put in Slytherin at that point.
I think
but
it-
I don't think that he would have ever done that. I'm just saying hypothetically.
It just reminded him too much of Dudley,
Yeah.
and he had a
Bully.
enough.
Yeah.
He knew. He knew what was up. Can't fool him with that. You can fool him with a lot of other stuff, though.
Even though Harry's not my favorite character in the Harry Potter series, I can appreciate him a lot.
Yeah. All right. So I would love to hear from our listeners, though. Do you think that Harry was difficult to sort because of the Horcrux, or do you think it was just Harry in general? So the Sorting Hat says you would have done well in Slytherin, and hearing this made Harry's stomach plummet, and he felt sick. And he removes the hat with disgust, and he says, "You're wrong." So I have another discussion point here. I said the disgust with Slytherin isn't all just about the house. And then I mentioned the influence of Ron. And it has connotations of who is part of the house because of what is happening. And I said that there's a lot of overlooked qualities in Slytherin. So I wanted to kind of throw that around a little bit. Because this, now with everybody being sorted and Pottermore and people taking pride in their houses, like at the beginning, there wasn't that kind of thing within our fandom. It was like you were Gryffindor, Ravenclaw was pretty cool, or you were in sucky Hufflepuff, or you were evil in Slytherin.
Right.
And this is part of that goes along with that. I mean, it says that he was disgusted. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to you will not update computer. No.
I was reading something about, because me and Meg couldn't remember the other day of what house Joe had been sorted into.
Correct, yeah.
It's Gryffindor, but she mentioned how, like, she wouldn't be ashamed to be in Hufflepuff, and, like, how she doesn't understand why there's such hate in Hufflepuff. And I'm like, you set it up that way.
Right.
You set up the evil
Yeah.
of Slytherin, which is, like, you know, it's fine. But, like,
Yeah.
it came from, because you see everything from Harry's point of view. So you see
Yeah.
Ron instantly say, oh, there's never been a witch or wizard who never went bad in Slytherin, and Hufflepuff is a bunch of, you know,
Duffers.
yeah, duffers. So, yeah, he's got a lot of influence. I wonder what would have happened had he not heard anything.
Right. He wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But even like in the movie, like the first movie, when you see McGonagall's telling them like you'll be sorted into your houses, and the way she says it, saying Slytherin, she's like, "There's Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin." Like she even in the movie implies like you don't want to be in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that her own personal angst? Probably. She's at war with Snape always. I don't know. So I just wanted to like bring that up because I don't know. I feel bad, but that's all he knows. He doesn't know.
Right.
He doesn't know any better.
I think also that a lot of people just take the time to focus on the wrong qualities of each house when, like, okay, there are some that are good and some that are bad, but we need to remember to focus on the good ones too. Like when we're thinking of Slytherin, you know, like ambition is a big one, but so is
Ambition
shrewd.
could be good.
You know, no, I know. I'm saying ambition is good, but like shrewd doesn't always come across as a good.
Shrewd sounds bad.
Right. So people are like, oh, they're
Yeah.
shrewd.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're also ambitious. So,
Well, people have to remember that like there's bad people that come out of every house, and they forget that
except
they're like, well,
Hufflepuff, Goody Two Shoes, Katie.
They say no. On Pottermore, it says they don't name anybody, but they're like they have the least amount. So there still are bad
Right.
people coming out of Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
I wanna
Katie
know who they
Beatrice.
When people when people talk about like Peter Pettigrew, well, he should have been in Slytherin. No, he was in the right house. He
Right.
just made bad choices. He was brave enough to be horrible
crappy.
against his friends.
Right.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
Everybody, you know, who do we have? Gilderoy.
He was not kind.
He's a handful.
Alrighty,
A
Rue.
handful is not a good enough way to describe him.
And so right after this interaction with the hat, a strange gagging sound grabs his attention, and he turns and he sees an old bird looking like a half-plucked turkey on a golden perch. And this is just another example of Harry literally being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Always.
But it is fate
Yeah.
because he is in the right place at the right time to learn these facts about this boy.
And I wonder if this is the moment where like Fawkes maybe realizes how good Harry is and then takes a liking to him enough to like come to his rescue later in the book.
I think the reason he comes to his rescue is because he tells him, he's like,
Tells him the
Dumbledore
riddle.
is like
Yeah.
the number
Yeah.
one wizard. I'm loyal to him. You're not like, as long as anybody in this castle is loyal to Dumbledore, like
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to do anything. And that's why Fawkes comes to him. Because Dumbledore says, he goes, Fawkes only goes, like, how does he say it? Fawkes only goes to like people
Yeah.
that are loyal to me.
yeah.
And I don't know if he hears Harry, but like he knows like Harry's like, Dumbledore's my bro. No one's topping him.
He's a bro.
Do you think Fawkes can like feel that Harry has his tail feather in the wand?
That's a good point too.
Maybe he wants to shake his tail feather.
I was going to say something like that, but I was like, should I?
Sarah went there.
Always.
I was going to say something about him. Yeah, because if coming up here, Harry tells a big fat lie, so
It also
I
really
don't
quick whenever Dumbledore says, it's like in italics in the book where it says that they're the most faithful pets. And I think that that's another little teeny tiny bit of
Clue.
foreshadowing or clue of like how, like how much Fawkes pines and is sad over Dumbledore's death later in the books, you know?
he cries.
Yeah.
This
Poor
is what
Fox.
Harry says to Riddle. He's like, sorry to disappoint you and all that, but the greatest wizard in the world is Albus Dumbledore. Everyone says so. Even when you were strong, you didn't dare try and take over Hogwarts. Dumbledore saw through you when you were at the school, and he still frightens you now whenever you're hiding these days. And he's like, he's been driven out of the castle. He's like, he's not gone as you might think.
Sassy Harry.
Dun 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 dun.
Yes.
Fox comes to save the day.
Yep.
And so as the feathers are falling out of the bird, Harry's thinking that just what he needs is Dumbledore's bird to die when he's alone in the office with it. And then what happens?
It dies.
It bursts into flame and dies.
Yeah, not just dies, bursts into flame.
Bursts into flame. And he literally yells in shock and backs away. And just then, the office door opens and in comes Dumbledore. What luck, friends. And so,
Sir, there's nothing I could do.
right, he starts
Bird, you caught
protesting.
fire.
He's like, I didn't do this. Your bird, it caught fire. And so Dumbledore's like, it's cool, bro.
This is what's supposed to happen.
Right. So, and so he starts to tell Harry all about Fawkes the Phoenix. And so I brought up, there's like 3 different little articles on Fawkes on Pottermore. And it says Dumbledore's loyal phoenix who comes to Harry's aid in the Chamber of Secrets. And he has a mini fact file, and his skill, it only has skills listed. It says tears that possess healing powers and the ability to carry immensely heavy loads. How convenient, friends. And then there's also another article, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it's 32 thoughts Fawkes might have had during the Chamber of Secrets.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, so, and this is all in Pottermore. It says Dumbledore's fiercely loyal phoenix appeared for the first time in Chamber of Secrets and pretty much saved the day. So what if the book had been written from his point of view? And so I'll read just a couple of them. It says, and right, these are Fawkes' thoughts. How frightfully awkward, burning day, and in comes the boy who lived.
Oh my God.
I wasn't gagging per se. It was more of a clearing of the throat. You have no idea how difficult it is to summon the energy to swallow when I'm about to set myself on fire. I would like to add that my eyes are not dull. They are enchanting. Although the feathers falling out is a tad mortifying. Oh my God.
Poor Fawkes.
Let me scroll down to see if there's any, like... Oh, geez. There's like little excerpts from the book, and then it like talks about like what he would say. 22 is, I must remember to tell Albus that he shouldn't worry too much about Tom Riddle. He seems a little self-involved, if you ask me. Oh, boy.
That Fox is as sassy as Harry.
It is a sassy little bird. And the last one, I am a tough bird to please, you know. And then it shows, I think it's an illustration of the scene from the movie where Fawkes is pecking at the eyes of the basilisk, which is pretty cool.
I really hope in Fantastic Beasts we find out that Newt gave Dumbledore Fox. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Some people have brought up the idea that like too much is coming from the Fantastic Beasts series, though. But I like it.
I like it.
Like
I can't
they
have
say
Right.
like the whole theory of like Nagini, and then there's the idea of like Aragog being brought to Hagrid from the pocket of a traveler, and they're like, "Ooh, what if it's Newt Scamander?"
I mean,
And then
why
Fox,
not?
but
Why
it's
not
like
this is
connect
how
the dots?
Joe
he's a
works.
magizoologist. Like, why wouldn't he bring all of these creatures
A
into
famous
the series?
one.
Right.
This is how Joe works. When she first wrote the list of books and she put Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Newt Scamander, in her head, she could have been like, here's his backstory,
yeah,
all
yeah,
this
she knows.
stuff. And it could have been this entire storyline and it just happened to come to
that's-
light. You have no idea.
Well, she's said in
That's why it went
interviews.
from 3 to 5, I think.
Right.
Yeah. And she said in interviews as well, like, you know, whenever the movies were coming to a close and the books were coming to a close, people would always ask her, like, is this the end of Potter? And she would always say never. And she said that, like, you know, when the first Fantastic Beasts movie came out, she said, I said that because I knew Warner Brothers wanted to do this series and I had been working on it for years.
Yeah.
So it's like, who knows what she has in the back of her mind and how long she's known. I'm sure that they came to her a long time ago.
What do you have?
This is just a picture. So I bought Harry Potter History of Magic, and
I
in the
want
very
that.
end of the book, the super end, but like a couple pages before the end, she has like pictures of her planning the books, and it's like on just like pieces of paper that are like lined.
Yeah.
And
It's like
just
charts.
so
It's like graphs.
detailed. And she's got a bunch of graphs, like dates and everything, and like the titles of what they're called, and the plot line, and it says,
Dang.
God, it's so like intricate.
I
the
cannot wait to
prophecy,
see this exhibit in New
the
York.
people. It is. I mean, pages of note pages. You know.
I love her
just
little
crazy how
sketches
detailed.
too. Yeah, like there's her little sketch of Snape. I love that.
Yeah, her Snape's pretty cool.
This book smells so good.
Oh, and she did the
do love books.
she did the crest. Oh, the Sorting Hat, so
Oh, it looks just like it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
this
need that
is
book.
really
How
cool.
much is that?
cute. It was like $35, wasn't it?
I bought it on Amazon Prime, so it was $45 because I was paying.
I wonder
Holy
if you can
poop.
get that on
Don't
Book
trust.
Depository though.
I don't trust when the books because I paid for the illustrated copies and never got them like 2 years ago.
That's
Jeez.
true.
Check out bookdepository.com, I bet, because that's the like Bloomsbury printed edition.
And even like she's got pages of like her notes with notes in them.
That's crazy.
But it's just cool to see like how, because I'm not a writer, so I
What is it
don't
called?
think like that, and I don't,
history of magic.
have like the notes in my head. Oh, I was thinking. So there's a picture. She drew a picture, like a sketch of what Hogwarts
I've
was, and we were
seen that,
talking
yeah.
about how many changing rooms there were. According to her picture here, there's only 2.
Look, thank
Oh,
you,
for the
Joe.
Quidditch pitch.
It is
Yeah.
$37 on
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
I need to get that book. Thank you. You sold it to me.
Look at how cute the cover is.
Amazon,
really cool.
please sponsor our podcast.
Oh, look.
my God.
Yeah, seriously, we buy
you
so
imagine?
much stuff from you.
Oh,
Alrighty, Rue. Proceed to check out one item. Sign in. Give us a second here, folks, because place your order.
I literally have bought so much
Thank
stuff
you.
that I don't have. My bookshelf is full. Like I have nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
I bought,
Yeah, that extra one I bought's full too, so we're gonna have to.
I bought
gotta get another one down
more
here.
cups too. I bought those ones with like at Target they had glass cups, and I don't drink. Not that I don't drink out of plastic, but I prefer to drink out of glass.
Because she's pinky out.
I just there's something about plastic. I also hate
No, I
drinking
get
out
it.
of metal.
Yeah.
But they had
Ooh,
glass cups,
yeah.
and each one had a house where there's 4 cups, and they were dressed like in robes. And I was
Oh,
like, I
you
don't
sent
need
us a
this.
picture.
And then I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I
do.
do.
Mind you, I have the other ones from Target that I don't use
That's true.
that are sitting on my bookshelf.
Okay.
Did you buy it?
Yeah. There's another article about behind the scenes how animators brought Fawkes to life. So you guys can go ahead and check that out. I mean, it's just a bunch of like stills and how they created him. What is that one?
It's a picture that I think she drew of the duel. So like from the second book, and it has Neville and Ron and Harry, Hermione and Gary, who then she changed later on to be Dean.
Gary.
And then he's not in the scene anymore. Like she cut him from that scene. But his OG name was Gary.
Gary.
And he OGly was going to be with them at the Midnight Duel.
Oh my god. All right. So phoenixes in Greek mythology is a long-lived bird that cynically regenerates or is otherwise reborn again. It's associated with the sun, and it obtains new life by arising from ashes of its predecessor. According to some sources, a phoenix dies in a show of flames and combustion. Thank you, Joe. Although there are other sources that claim the legendary bird dies and simply decomposes before being born again. So, do what you will with that. Those are phoenixes. And so, we meet Fawkes on his burning day, which is that's like capitalized, so that's like official. It's a burning day. And he is reborn into a wee baby bird.
so does Fox have like a ton of birthdays?
Yes.
How often
And you have to celebrate
Day?
all of them. What?
How often does he have a burning day?
I don't know.
He's a long-lived bird.
God, I want to.
Like I wonder
know.
how
Think
many
about how
times-
long parrots live. Parrots can live like a really long time, so I would like times that by a lot.
I think it is
magic.
a lot.
But I wonder, like, how many times has Dumbledore seen the Burning Day?
Yeah.
Well,
look this up.
obviously a lot because he's not phased by it at all. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a burning day. I was waiting for him. Like,
Or maybe he just knew it was his time and he's a wizard and he's seen other phoenixes. You know what I mean? Like he's
well,
been
y'all
in
take
this
to
world.
the internet, Google it. Let me know. Do it now.
Doing it now.
Do it. Okay. So Dumbledore says Fawkes is usually very handsome with red and gold plumage. That's my laundry. And they can carry immensely heavy loads, and their tears have healing powers, and they are very loyal. And I said, foreshadowing convenience. Mm-hmm. And Harry suddenly remembers why he's there, and Dumbledore pierces him with his light blue stare. And the office door flies open, and in comes Hagrid looking wild. Dead rooster in hand. This is not good for your case. And he starts yelling about how it couldn't be Harry because he was just with him. And there wouldn't have been time. And Dumbledore's like, no, listen, I know. He tries to interrupt Hagrid, but Hagrid keeps going. And he's like, I'll swear in front of the Ministry of Magic, you've got the wrong boy. And I wanted to discuss for a quick second Hagrid's passion in this moment. He was wrongfully accused. And I think that's why he's so nuts right now. It's because he wants to get the point across that no, it is not this kid.
Don't even get it in your head. It's not him.
Right.
Right.
Because he knows like what he went through, getting thrown out, you know, not being able to do magic or whatever. So I just wanted to point out that that's why Hagrid is like so dead set on getting his point across to Dumbledore at this moment.
I love that.
Well, you're welcome. Sometimes this brain. And Dumbledore finally gets firm with Hagrid, telling him that he doesn't think Harry has done anything wrong. And Hagrid sheepishly walks out of the office after his outburst.
I'll just give him a big old hug.
I know. And Harry's kind of in shock at what Hagrid did for him and the fact that Dumbledore believes he's innocent because Harry, you know, always thinking that, oh, crap, I'm going to get in trouble. But Dumbledore still wants to talk to him. And so he says, is there anything you'd like to tell me? Anything at all?
Is there, Harry?
And here we go. So I'm just going to read a quick blip from this portion of the chapter. So Dumbledore says, I must ask you, Harry, whether there is anything you'd like to tell me, he said gently. Anything at all. Harry didn't know what to say. He thought of Malfoy shouting, you'll be next, mudbloods, and of the Polyjuice potion simmering away in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. And then he thought of the disembodied voice he had heard twice, remembered what Ron had said. Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world. He thought, too, about what everyone was saying about him, and his growing dread that he was somehow connected with Salazar Slytherin. No, said Harry. There isn't anything, Professor. Hello, Tom Riddleth. So that brings me to the end of my very long portion, which I didn't realize was going to be that long.
It was very informational.
Yeah, but it was good.
Okay.
I dug it.
So
I dug it.
you dug it. That's where we leave. Now, quick, get through yours so we can eat. No, I'm just kidding.
Chop, chop.
So, obviously, like, because of this double attack on Justin and Nick, the entire climate of the school is just nervous, kind of panicky. Like, what could have attacked a ghost? That was really what worried people more so than Justin's attack. Sorry, Justin. But
I wonder what else can attack a ghost.
yeah.
Ooh.
That's an interesting...
That would have scared the living crap out of me.
They're already dead. Like,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, no one's safe.
Like the climate at the school is so bad that people are literally like stampeding to book seats on the Hogwarts Express to go home for Christmas, which is certainly not normal because, you know, who wouldn't want to stay at Hogwarts for Christmas?
I would.
Harry's happy because he's tired of people giving him the side-eye glance all day.
I would stay away from him. Being a fellow Gryffindor, I'd be like, you're bad news. My mom told me not to hang out with people who are bad news.
Poor Harry. But let's talk about Fred and George. Like,
Oh my
Gred
God.
and Forge.
yeah.
To a T.
So, you know, the good thing about what they're doing is that Harry is almost grateful that, like, they think it's ludicrous that people think he might be the heir of Slytherin. But they're literally, like, parading around the castle being like, make way for the heir of Slytherin. Get out of his way. And Ginny is really upset about it.
Yes.
And we know why, because, you know, she's already been feeling kind of weird lately. This entire situation is making her very uncomfortable.
Wonder why.
I wonder why.
I think she aged like 10 years in this 1 year.
I
Poor
know,
thing.
poor Ginny.
Seriously.
But Malfoy seems really annoyed by it because, you know, Harry's getting more attention, obviously. But I like Ron is like, I bet he's just bursting to say that it's actually him who's the heir of Slytherin, but like he's not allowed to.
Yeah.
But they're getting closer to the potion being ready, right? So Ron is like, you know, hold out. We'll find out for sure. So end of term, it's pretty quiet. Though all the Weasleys end up staying because Mr. and Mrs. Weasley are going to Egypt to see Bill.
Yeah, they visit Bill.
Egypt again?
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Because then they
must
do it in the next
really
book.
like Bill
Yeah.
more than Charlie.
Yeah.
No, didn't they go to Romania last Christmas?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So then they
at
go
least in the movie they did.
And then they go to
Romania to visit
Egypt.
Charlie.
But then they go back to Egypt this summer
When they win that
when they
prize.
win that prize. So it's like,
Yeah, but the whole family goes then. So
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
difference.
which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Minus Charlie because he's not in the picture. Or is he? He might be in the picture.
Maybe he flew a dragon there.
Even Scab has enjoyed himself.
I think I saw Ed Sheeran in that picture.
You don't deserve it.
That's true.
We did. We saw it in the newspaper.
So anyway, Harry finds the castle silence peaceful. And basically him, Hermione, and the Weasleys just run Gryffindor Tower right now, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
All of the children are there, but not the correct ones. Because because the guy that plays Donald Gleason is not in the
is
picture,
not in it.
And he plays Bill later on. But there are 7 children in that picture. 7 red-headed children.
So Christmas morning. Also, side note, I didn't realize that the day that they did the Polyjuice potion was on Christmas.
Yeah.
Once again.
Another event on a holiday.
Yeah.
Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
So Hermione comes bursting into the dorm, and the boys are like, what are you doing up here? You're not allowed up here. And she's just like, listen, open your presents. Let's go. I've been up for like an hour. This potion is ready. I want to do this tonight.
And I love that you get to see that girls can go in the boys' dormitory, but not vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Old school rules, buds.
So, Christmas presents. I wanted to read what Harry got because I think it's cute.
Mainly because I think that the Dursleys present is the
it's
best
hilarious,
by far.
yeah.
It's clutch.
So, he sees Hedwig. At that moment, Hedwig swooped into the room carrying a very small package in her beak. Hello, said Harry happily as she landed on his bed. Are you speaking to me again? She nibbled his ear in an affectionate sort of way, which was a far better present than the one that she had brought him, which turned out to be from the Dursleys. Poor Harry, I just can't. They had sent Harry a toothpick and a note telling him to find out whether he'd be able to stay at Hogwarts for the summer vacation too.
So mean.
Well, they're worried about his dental hygiene.
Yeah, sure. The rest of Harry's Christmas presents were far more satisfactory. Hagrid had sent him a large tin of treacle toffee, which Harry decided to soften by the fire before eating, which is a good idea. Ron had given him a book called Flying with the Cannons, a book of interesting facts about his favorite Quidditch team. Side note, do you think Ron got him this book because he wanted it?
I was just going to ask you that. That's so funny.
But like his team is no like his other favorite team. I'm like, oh my gosh. Get your own team.
And Hermione had bought him a luxury eagle feather quill. And Harry opened the last present to find a new hand-knitted sweater from Mrs. Weasley and a large plum cake. He read her card with a fresh surge of guilt, thinking about Mr. Weasley's car, which hadn't been seen since its crash with the Whomping Willow.
Never.
And the bout of rule-breaking he and Ron were planning next.
Guilt.
Plum pie.
Yeah.
that sounds
sounds good.
amazing.
No?
It doesn't sound.
No, I'd eat it.
I mean, I'd try it.
Cannot tell you the last time I ate a plum.
This is Mrs. Weasley we're talking about. She would make anything taste delicious.
It depends on what the top will
But
be.
yeah, I wonder if there's like
have a bite.
a crust, like a pie crust cover,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
That would be yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll eat it.
So Christmas dinner is next. We've got a dozen frost-covered Christmas trees. Thick streamers of holly and mistletoe crisscrossing the ceiling. Enchanted snow falling, warm and dry.
That's the dream.
I like that. And Dumbledore led them in a few of his favorite carols. And Fred bewitched Percy's badge to say Pinhead instead of Prefect. And Percy doesn't know. And they're sniggering at him the whole time, which I think is hilarious.
I have a song stuck in my head now.
What?
Percy doesn't know that Fiona and me. Do it in my van every Sunday.
So Malfoy is making loud, snide remarks about Harry's new sweater at the Slytherin table.
Loser. It's Malfoy, not the other.
I know. What? And Harry didn't mind. Hopefully, Malfoy would be getting his comeuppance in a few hours' time
True.
as they go to make the Polyjuice potion.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you for that segment.
Malfoy?
Now,
And
Katie.
Sometimes I just really hate him.
Yes.
Who, Malfoy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you just sit down and, like, go through school?
He's just a 12-year-old boy with issues, all right?
I mean, I end up
More
liking,
issues than most, so let's think about it.
I end up liking Draco later.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which I'm sure
Yeah,
some
he's-
people are going to be like, how can you forgive Draco and not Snape? But it's like, I don't know.
I
He's
don't
a
know.
child. He's like the character. What? IJS. He's like the character we all like love to like not like.
Yeah.
Who?
Draco?
Draco.
He's like the popular baddie, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. He's like Regina George.
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, my God.
Hogwarts style. Regina George.
And have been personally victimized by Regina George.
Do you think Malfoy has a burn book? That's the same movie, right?
It's the diary. He had to give it away.
Well, he
So-
kept writing in it, but it just disappeared. He didn't know what he was doing, so he threw it in the toilet, right?
That's right.
The Twilight.
I just made up that story.
Good job. Fan fiction in the making.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Hermione comes up with this plan to get the hairs they need from Crabbe Goyle. She already has hers because when they were at the dueling club, Millicent Bulstrode left a hair on her robes. So she fills 2 chocolate cakes with sleeping draught. And Harry and Ron are like, I don't really know if this is going to work. But we catch a glimpse of that new Hermione again, and it
Yes.
says Hermione had a steely glint in her eye, not unlike the one Professor McGonagall sometimes had.
Steely.
And she says,
I can see the comparison between Hermione
Oh, yeah.
and
yeah.
McGonagall.
Definitely.
So she's like, the potion will be useless without Crabbe and Goyle's hair, she said sternly. You do want to investigate Malfoy, don't you? So she's just like, listen, she's the rule breaker here, which is crazy,
Yeah.
but we all understand because I think this is very near and dear to her heart, obviously, because she's a Muggleborn.
Yep.
So all they do is take these cakes, put them on the end of a banister. What do Crabbe and Goyle do when they come out of the Great Hall?
Shove them in their gullet.
They just shove them in their face, like all greedily, and as Joe says, stupidly.
Yeah.
Like, how thick are these two? So, of course,
I
they
like
fall
in the movie
asleep.
when Ron's like, how thick can you get?
It's so true, though.
Yeah.
I do like how in the movie they, like, levitate them in
It
the
makes
hall.
it even like more
Yes.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, here's these cakes floating. Let's eat them.
Yeah.
But whatever. So, of course, they do eat them. And Harry and Ron have to drag them to a broom cupboard. This is, like, so illegal. It's not even funny.
God, can you imagine if somebody like walked around
Right?
the hallway or Peeves?
Oh, God. Oh, it'd all been ruined.
There would have been a song.
Someone write that song for us.
Please.
The next Potter You Router.
Beverly.
Beverly.
She's going to be like, why do you guys keep calling on me?
Well, we just like to give you homework.
Exactly. So we're back at Myrtle's lair, as we like to call it. And there's thick black smoke coming from the stall that Hermione's in. And she's a little nervous because I think this is such a hard and difficult potion. And I mean, if something goes wrong, this is all her fault.
Right.
Because she's supposed to be the smart one.
Right.
It even says she's anxious. So they add the hairs. Millicent's turns a sick sort of yellow. Ugh.
Yellow cat eyes.
Ooh.
I like that.
Goyle's is the khaki color of a booger.
Boogers.
Love that description.
And Crabbe's is a dark, murky brown.
Like poop.
Thank you. So they go into separate stalls because once they change, they're going to be too big. And as Ron points out, Millicent is no pixie.
What? I don't know what you mean.
That's terrible. So I wanted to read what the transformation felt like.
Yes.
So Harry, immediately his insides started writhing as though he'd just swallowed live snakes. Doubled up, he wondered whether he was going to be sick. Then a burning sensation spread rapidly from his stomach to the very ends of his fingers and toes. Next, bringing him gasping to all fours, came a horrible melting feeling, as though the skin all over his body bubbled like hot wax. And before his eyes, his hands began to grow. The fingers thickened, the nails broadened, the knuckles were bulging like bolts. His shoulders stretched painfully, and a prickling on his forehead told him that hair was creeping down toward his eyebrows. His robes ripped at his chest, as his chest expanded like a barrel bursting its hoops. His feet were agony in shoes 4 sizes too small. And suddenly, as it had started, everything stopped. So, yeah, it sounds a little painful. Can you imagine your body rearranging?
No.
It would feel so
I
weird.
feel like it's
because my
only-
body is rearranging.
I feel like it's only painful because like he's in clothes that are too small and shoes that are too small. But like
I don't know, the picture and that art of
Yeah.
Harry Potter, like that looks painful.
Remember
where
that?
Yeah,
Barty
of
Crouch
Barty
turning into
Crouch.
Mad Eye.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it'd be something. And even like with them in the last when they're turning into Harry in the like last movie, they even are like exclaiming like, ugh. Doesn't sound like it feels good.
Maybe it just like feels
like
Uncomfortable.
yeah.
Can you imagine like adjusting to a new body though? Especially like, you know, we know Harry is small for his age and all of a sudden he's like this, he's Goyle. He's this huge child now.
huge child.
Yeah, can you imagine like trying to walk?
I thought it was interesting how amazed Ron was at this too, because he's the one who is so knowledgeable about magic. Obviously, he's a pureblood. He grew up around it. He teaches Harry everything. But even he's looking in the mirror going, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Can't he like see the thoughts? Didn't he say it's like so weird to see like Crabbe
Oh,
Goyle
yeah.
thinking?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
that in itself is really strange to me. Like, okay, you have your own brain and thoughts and personality, but you can also see how that person would think.
Oh, I thought he meant
like physically see him like because Harry's trying to think. And you know, like, oh, like I'm thinking really hard, and Goyle probably never has
I
that
got
look
you,
on
I
his
got you,
face.
I got you.
That's how
Never
I read
mind.
it.
but that
Never
would
mind.
be cool.
Guys, I'm pregnant.
That would be cool.
The one thing I don't like that they do in the movie, I like in the book how like they have like Goyle's in
Yes.
Crabbe's voice.
Yes.
In the movie
Yes.
they don't do that.
I understand.
I get
but
it.
yeah.
Like, I'm
Because it
smart
would
enough
be
to
hard
watch
to
the movie.
portray that like they are this person without like something being the same as before. I think
Yeah,
it's
but,
just like
I know that they're playing that person, so
right.
like
I think
know,
that they're
I
just
agree.
thinking for like people who didn't read the book and like don't
Which
not my
you know
problem.
what? No.
right. No,
Pick up
I
a book.
agree, but
Right.
like I agree that they obviously should have read it, but I can like kind of understand why they did it in the same time.
yeah.
Dumb.
So Hermione refuses to leave her stall. And
Kid's afraid to leave his stoop.
oh my god, yes.
Cat girl's afraid to leave her stall.
And they're like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, just go, I'll be fine."
And her voice is like all squeaky.
Yes, because she's like trying to be like, oh,
She's probably panicking because she knows it's not supposed to be used.
Well, not only that, but like
pause.
but Ron and Harry like have Goyle and Crabbe's voice. So like that's like a cat voice.
oh, what if she could only meow?
Yzma, when Yzma turns into a cat. This is my voice.
I love that movie.
What if that's what she sounded like? So Ron and Harry have no idea where the Slytherin common room is. Don't you
I can't
think?
believe they wouldn't have thought of that beforehand.
I'm shocked that Hermione didn't think of that.
You have
that.
60 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, because we know
Well,
that
you
this
can-
potion is a little up in the air.
You can
with it.
see that in the 7th one, she is like, we have to have
Yes.
this planned from start to finish. Whereas like this one, I mean, she's 12.
We always say that.
Isn't she 13?
Whatever. Gosh.
True, she is.
But we always are like, oh, how do, 3 blah, blah, blah kids. this is an example of
I like
them
that,
being
yeah.
kids.
You have to remind
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
that they're kids. 'Cause
Yeah.
especially watching, like, rethinking of watching the movies, they weren't 12 when they were making this film. You know what I mean? They're a little bit older. They weren't
Were they? Okay.
right on each. Like,
They
weren't
were
the same
close
age.
though.
No,
For the
they
first
were.
two, they were like real
really
They
close.
were, for sure. But, like, thinking.
Because they did 1 and 2 literally back to back.
Yeah.
I remember watching an
that's a
interview
lot for kids.
with Daniel Radcliffe, like at the Sorcerer's Stone premiere, and he's like, "Oh, we've already started filming Chamber of Secrets. Like there was no break."
Yeah. There's a big break between the second and the third because he wanted to
Yeah.
go back to school. Real school.
Yeah. What do you mean, real? It's real for us.
I'm not saying that wasn't real school. I'm saying, like, sit in a
on
classroom.
set.
Correct.
Not a tutor.
But, like, that's something we do have to remind ourselves that they're only kids.
Yep.
They're only kids. They're not even teenagers yet.
Bud. He's just showing up.
Nothing.
Nothing to say.
So they actually end up asking a Ravenclaw where the common room is. Ron's all like, we seem to have forgotten where our common room is, which is, super suspicious.
But
And she's like, I'm a
Consider who they are.
Ravenclaw.
You would think he would
She
look
was
at
like
the tie.
offended.
Yeah.
I would be mad.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
would be too.
to
Open
be
your eyes.
fair, the blue and the green, at least in the movies, like they're
What if she
kind of
didn't have her
similar.
robes on?
Or Chef
They don't
thinks
have
she does.
uniforms.
Oh, that's true. Because so maybe that's why it was easy to mistake them, because you've literally just got the robe.
Yeah, but doesn't your robe have, like, your...
She might not have had her robe on. It's
but-
Christmas break.
Here's my thinking, though. From what I
True.
gathered, the robe... I don't know. I just was thinking a completely different outfit in my head. Like, the way that they describe it in the book, even, like, when they're changing into, like, the other robes, they're like, oh, they just pull them over their head. So, like, why would they keep on clothes that are too small for them, like, thinking pants and shirts? Then they just have, like, a robe. Like, a house coat kind of thing is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking a robe looks like. That's all they wear, is what I was thinking in my head. Not, like... what you see in the movies where, like,
It's a
Hermione has a skirt
uniform.
and, like, an
Yeah.
Oxford button down and, like,
Well,
the guys
because
have their
JK
button
has
down.
said that, like, they don't actually have uniforms like that. They just did that in the movies because, like, it looked better.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
with the cloak, like, they have their robes on. They
Yeah.
just wear robes, is
I
what
want
I'm
them to
thinking.
have
And they
uniforms.
don't. They just wear their undies underneath it. Is
I
what
think some
I'm
do.
thinking in my head.
We know Archie doesn't wear undies.
Underwear.
But, like, that's how I pictured it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
they just have their robes, so everyone's
Yeah.
essentially in a long house coat.
I don't like that.
Well, I don't know what to do.
I want to wear
But it makes sense, like, the way they describe how they're changing. They're like, oh, they just pulled the robes, like, off and
Yeah.
then they pulled new ones on because you could see their, I don't know. Just thoughts.
So they run into Percy Weasley down there, which has to be so weird for Ron because he has to pretend like
Of
he
course,
doesn't know him.
Percy's down there.
Right.
But he doesn't
yeah.
at first, right?
Yeah, he kind of like slips up almost.
Yeah.
He's like, it's Crabbe, isn't it? And Ron's like, what? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, Malfoy comes around the corner, and Harry, for the first time in his life, was pleased to see him.
Well, look at that. How times have changed.
And Malfoy's super disrespectful to Percy. Percy's what, a 5th year? Here's Malfoy, 12 years
It's the sixth
old.
year, isn't he? Because the next year he's the head boy.
Yeah, because this is his second year
You're right.
as prefect.
You're right. My bad. So even worse. He's like totally mean to. He's just so arrogant, and he like sneers at him. Which
Percy
I think,
probably has just given up on Malfoy at this point.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point because I was gonna mention that I'm kind of shocked that Percy just like lets him get away with it. But yeah, maybe he just thinks he's a lost cause, and he just doesn't really want to bother with it, even on Percy's standards.
Yeah. I like in the movie when he's like, I didn't know you could read. He ad-libbed that because he forgot his lines.
So good.
Amazing.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like,
didn't know you
I'd be
could
panicking. Like, I don't know what my line is. I don't know what it is. And he just
see,
does
now,
this new thing.
I feel like I'd be able to do it. It might not
Yeah.
always be that good, but I probably would have said
No, I
something.
feel like you'd be
I
good
didn't
at
know
it."
you could read. That sounds like something I would say to someone.
That's
I'm pretty
amazing.
sure I've heard that come out of your mouth
I have.
toward me.
I was going to say, talking about your husband.
Oh.
He doesn't know what a library is or a book.
Oh.
You say it, oh, because you know it's true.
Well, he likes to read articles about
Okay.
science
Sure.
and business. He's another kind of nerd.
So I think it's interesting that the password to the Slytherin common room is pure blood.
At this time.
Again, Joe reinforcing this stigma.
So
Yeah, thanks,
I want to
Joe.
know, like, who comes up with the passwords? Like, is it
it
Snape? Is it Dumbledore? Like, I don't even feel. I guess Snape could be that person. Like, I just don't think of him being anymore that type of person being like, oh, it's pure blood. Or
And
maybe
he's not.
Yeah.
What if
Here's
it's like
Voldemort.
just like the magic lock?
Maybe Salazar picks it.
Still,
Maybe the Sorting Hat does it.
I thought of that too.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
the
want it to be.
governors
I
pick
want it to be like a magical.
Because I would think that, like, you know,
door or whatever.
because all of the,
The fat lady.
well, right, like, does the fat lady pick it for Gryffindor? That's kind of what I always
but-
envisioned, but, like, Slytherin doesn't have something like that.
just a
But
bare
then
wall.
Ravenclaw is, like, an enchanted door knocker, so, like, maybe the door knocker picks whatever the
Yeah. Well, the wall
question
then.
is that they ask.
But we're
And then
just a bunch of
Hufflepuff is
barrels.
always the same thing.
You can put brains.
Oh, yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
things.
Yeah. I don't know. It's because, like, Slytherin's literally just a stone wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, put
by
a
the
brain into
stones
the cement.
My other question is like,
Maybe?
if it's just a bare wall, I would get so lost. I'd be like, I don't know which wall it is anymore.
Are there any indicators that we know about?
No, it literally says there's
It
just a bare
says-
wall.
yeah.
Malfoy says the password, and a door just appears and slides open.
There's no like torch
Portrait
or
or-
yeah.
No.
Dang.
It does not say so.
I'd be talking to the wrong wall.
I would just, like, go walk
Katie would
around
be
the
like,
dungeon.
"It's nice to meet you. Can I come in?"
Walking down the whole hall, pure blood. Pure blood. Pure blood.
Think about poor Neville
Oh,
being a
God.
Slytherin and being like walking around the dungeon. Hold on. He's like, I remembered the password. I just couldn't find the door.
I think that this shows that Slytherins are a little smarter than Gryffindors.
Whoa!
Because we don't need an indicator. We just know where to go. But the Gryffindors have to have a portrait.
They have a door.
No, we
But
have a
no, it's not
knocker.
there until you
And-
say, oh, yeah, they have a door knocker, Ravenclaw.
And y'all aren't smart enough to be in my house because you guys
Riddles.
can't answer any of the
I
riddles.
did not say Slytherin was smarter than Ravenclaw. I said we're smarter than Gryffindor. So I think the new hierarchy of smartness here,
Okay, but I have 2 words for
Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff.
you. I have 2 words.
Yeah.
Get out.
Hermione Granger. And I also have 2 more.
Well, she's partially Ravenclaw, probably.
Suck it.
All right. So, the common room is a long and low underground room with rough stone walls and a ceiling from which round greenish lamps were hanging on chains. A fire was crackling under an elaborately carved mantelpiece, and there were several high-backed chairs around the fireplace.
Hashtag vampire people.
I just think of like really rich people, you know what I mean? Not specifically rich people, but very rich looking.
Old families.
Yeah,
Yeah.
money is what I think. Vampires.
Money is also green.
But not in England.
Not all money.
Also, not any of the money in the wizarding world is green.
True. None of it's green.
All
Unless
right.
there's, like, algae on it.
Algae.
Do you think the nuts, like, you know how like a penny will eventually
Yeah.
turn green? Maybe a nut
Maybe.
turns
Aw,
green.
nuts.
Aren't they bronze?
Nuts. Canuts. For those people who listen to the books.
Vale, nuts.
Malfoy has them sit in a chair while he goes to get something he wants to show them. So it's an article from the prophet his dad sent him. And so this is what it says. Inquiry at the Ministry of Magic. Arthur Weasley, head of the Misuse of Muggle Artifacts Office, was today fined 50 galleons for bewitching a Muggle car. Mr. Lucius Malfoy, a governor of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where the enchanted car crashed earlier this year, called today for Mr. Weasley's resignation. Weasley has brought the ministry into disrepute, Mr. Malfoy told our reporter. He is clearly unfit to draw up our laws, and his ridiculous Muggle Protection Act should be scrapped immediately. Mr. Weasley was unavailable for comment, although his wife told reporters to clear off or she'd set the family ghoul on them.
Family ghoul.
And so I like that clearly Malfoy doesn't like them. The Weasleys, that is. So, like, he's like, isn't it funny? And, like, he doesn't know that it's Ron and Harry, and they had to be like, ha, ha, so
I would
funny.
be like, ha, yeah, ha.
That's probably how they normally laugh anyway.
Probably, because they don't understand anything.
And then he, like, basically is like, you know, you would never know the Weasleys were pure blood the way they behave. And so Ron makes a face, and he's like, oh, it's just a stomach ache. Sorry. So we find out that the prophet isn't publishing anything about the attacks because Draco's going on about that, and that Lucius Malfoy doesn't like Dumbledore, and he thinks he's just trying to push, or trying to hush it all up.
Hush it all up.
I always hear that.
Didn't he say it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucius is also hoping that Dumbledore gets sacked. He loves Muggleborns. A decent headmaster would never have let slime like Creevy in, is what I think is what his dad says to Malfoy, and Malfoy tells that.
God, his dad is such an influence on him.
He wants to be his dad.
Literally.
He'll learn.
He wants to be him, and then he's like also terrified of him, I think.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on the internet. Someone might have posted it to our group where Malfoy like goes up when Remus has the boggart in the closet, and like he's just his dad walks out.
I saw
That's
that
deep.
too.
Yeah.
That's deep and sweaty.
Yep. So after making fun of Creevy, like literally being taking pictures.
Yes.
Which
Malfoy-
Harry says like it's a crude but accurate impression.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things
really
like
sad.
he wants to like legitimately laugh, but at the same
Yeah.
time he feels bad because he's
Laughing with Malfoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he finally gets onto the subject of who he thinks the heir Slytherin is. He knows it's not Potter, but wishes he does know who it is. And this is what he says. I wish I knew who it is, said Malfoy petulantly. I could help them. Ron's jaw dropped so that Crabbe looked even more clueless than usual. Fortunately, Malfoy didn't notice, and Harry, thinking fast, said, You must have had some idea who's behind it all. You know I don't, Goyle. How many times do I have to tell you, snapped Malfoy. And Father won't tell me anything about the last time the chamber was opened either. Of course, it was 50 years ago, so it was before his time, but he knows all about it, and he says that it was all kept quiet, and it'll look suspicious if I know too much about it. But I know one thing. The last time the Chamber of Secrets opened, a mudblood died. So I bet it's just a matter of time before one of them's killed this time. I hope it's Granger. He's such a...
How do you hope someone
As for me, I hope it's Granger.
That was good. That was really good.
So he goes, do you know if the person who opened the chamber last time was caught? Is what Harry tells him. He's like, oh yeah, whoever it was expelled, said Malfoy. They're probably still in Azkaban. Azkaban, said Harry, puzzled. Azkaban, the wizard prison, Goyle, said Malfoy, looking at him in disbelief. Honestly, if you were any slower, you'd be going backwards. And so, I figured we could talk slightly about Azkaban, the wizard prison.
First mention, right?
I think so, because Harry doesn't know about it.
Harry and
just
Ron.
a couple chapters.
Harry and Ron are really lucky that Crabbe
no
and Goyle
more.
are as
Dumb.
stupid as they are
Yeah.
because it helps them be so convincing.
So there's this long article on Azkaban that I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm going to just read a little bit of it on Pottermore.
We'll get into that later.
So it was created, it has existed since the 15th century and was not originally a prison at all. The island in the North Sea upon which the first fortress was built never appeared on any map, Muggle or Wizarding, and it's believed to have been created or enlarged by magical means. The fortress upon it was originally home to a little-known sorcerer who called himself Rizdis. It's Ekrizdis. Evidently extremely powerful, but of unknown nationality. He is believed to have been insane, was a practitioner of the worst kinds of dark arts. Alone in the middle of the ocean, he lured, tortured, and killed Muggle sailors, apparently for pleasure. And only when he died, the concealment charms he had casted faded away. Then the Ministry of Magic realized that either the island or the building existed. So those who entered to investigate refused afterwards to talk of what they found inside. But the least frightening part of the place was it was infested with Dementors. So that's interesting that they were like
Infested.
there.
Infested.
Yeah. So many in authority thought Azkaban an evil place that best be destroyed. Others were afraid of what might happen to the Dementors infesting the building if they deprived them of their home. The creatures were already strong and impossible to kill. Many feared a horrible revenge if they took away a habitat where they appeared to thrive. The very walls of the building seemed steeped in misery and pain, and the Dementors were determined to cling to it. Experts who had studied buildings built with and around dark magic contended that Azkaban might wreak its own event. Oh my god, I cannot read. Wreck, or is it reek? Wreck?
Wreck.
W-R-E...
AK. Reek. Yes.
Wreak its own revenge upon anybody attempting to destroy it. The fortress was therefore left abandoned for many years, a home to continually breeding Dementors. So then, I mean, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's long.
Yeah.
But at the end of this particular article, it has J.K. Rowling's thoughts, and it says the name Azkaban derives from the mixture of prison Alcatraz, which is the closest Muggle equivalent, being set on an island, and Abaddon, I don't know, which is a Hebrew word meaning place of destruction or depths of hell.
So we saw from
Abaddon.
afar the Muggle Azkaban.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty cool.
Very foggy.
So
I bet you there were lots of Dementors.
So it's an island prison in the middle of the North Sea for dangerous witches and wizards. Mm-hmm. And there's like another, they have their fact file. Type, it's a prison. It's like residents or owners. Prominent figures who have been sent to Azkaban include Sirius Black, Bellatrix, and Rodolphus Lestrange, Lucius Malfoy, Rubius Hagrid, and Dolores Umbridge, among others.
I read this thing that said a Dementor kissed Umbridge and it died.
And then I thought it'd be cool to read a little bit about Alcatraz if nobody knows about it. So it's a federal prison on Alcatraz Island in the chilly waters of California's San Francisco Bay, housed some of the America's most difficult and dangerous felons during its years of operation from 1934 to 1963. And then it tells about who was there, some people. It says, no inmate ever successfully escaped the Rock, as the prison was named, although more than a dozen known attempts were made over the years. After the prison was shut down due to high operating costs, it was occupied for almost 2 years by a group of Native American activists. So I think it's really cool that in an actual Alcatraz, they had no one successfully escape. And until the next book, no one has ever escaped from Azkaban.
True. Interesting.
So Draco talks freely about how his father wants the heir to get on with it, basically, and that the school needs ridding of the mudblood filth. The ministry raided the Malfoy home the week before, but didn't find much. He's telling them, but there's a secret chamber under the drawing room floor.
Doesn't Ron or Harry go aha or something like that?
Ron does.
Ron's like, whoa!
Yeah, because
He's like, I'm telling my dad.
Yeah.
my father.
My father will hear about this.
Yes.
He says,
Ron says it.
ho.
Oh.
That's funny.
So they soon realize, Harry and Ron, that they're slowly changing back into themselves and rush back to the bathroom. They use the stomachache excuse to be like, I'm going to go. Bye, Malfoy.
But truthfully,
They did this
They
part-
probably would have had a stomachache at this moment.
Yeah.
Of all that they've eaten.
They did this part so good in the movies.
I agree.
The transformation back. I liked it.
So Ron feels a little deflated, stating that they are no closer to finding out who opened the chamber, but he's going to write his dad about the Malfoy secret room. They want to tell Hermione what they heard, but she won't come out of the stall. She finally slides the lock and opens the door.
And Myrtle's like gleeful.
Yeah, like I think they even say like this is the happiest they've ever seen her.
Yeah.
And Hermione let her robes fall, and Ron backed into the sink. Her face was covered in black fur. Her eyes had turned yellow, and there were long, pointed ears poking through her hair. Freaking out because it was a cat hair she used, and Polyjuice potion is only meant for human transformations.
Polyjuice potion is only meant for human transformations.
Myrtle is happy because
In
she
Hermione's
thinks-
voice.
Myrtle is happy because she thinks Hermione is going to be teased something dreadful. And also, she loves the fact that as they're walking away, she sees that Hermione has a tail. And so Ron and Harry take her to the hospital wing.
I love at the end how they're like, let's just go to Madame Pomfrey. She never asks very many questions, like trying to console her.
Seen
God
it all.
bless that woman.
Honestly, she's.
I mean, Ron gets bit by a dragon, and he's like, it was a dog.
bite. You know, it's fine.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So
Because
okay,
someone-
lightning bolt round, go.
Someone posted when we were talking about taking the Polyjuice potion and all of that stuff, that if you were to take it as a werewolf, if you took the fur, would this like screw you up like this did Hermione?
The fur of a werewolf?
Or just like the hair of someone who's a werewolf. Like if you just took a strand of Lupin's hair.
But like, what if you
would
take? But what if you take Lupin's hair while he's transforming,
Like the fur.
transforming, and he's not fully a vampire?
Oh, that too.
fully a werewolf.
Yeah, no, we talked about vampires.
Yeah, what if you have a hair, a mid-transformation hair, and then a
my
post-transformation
brain
hair?
can't handle any of this?
I'm gonna guess that like if you're a creature that is like part human, it's fine. That would be my guess. Because like the strand, I don't know, like does his DNA change when he's transformed? I would guess not, because
See,
like it's always a part of him. So like even when he's not transformed,
I would think it would.
Yeah,
change.
look at his chemical makeup's changing. He's
That's
turning into something
true.
else.
That's true.
It's like
So, like, when
you're
it
look at your little
transforms
double
back-
helix. It's like into whatever. That's a werewolf,
No, I agree.
and then it goes back.
Yeah.
And these are hand motions that no
My-
listeners can see.
My other question is, if you're an animagus, so say like you got like Sirius over here, you
yeah.
take some of his stuff. What are you going to change into?
Man, I wish we could try it.
Do you, Katie?
Yeah, because
Well,
man,
you can't-
Pomfrey wouldn't ask a question.
That's true.
We can't try it with Sirius because he's dead, or Remus Lupin. So
That didn't happen. Neither. Thanks for that downer.
just call me Debbie.
We can try it with McGonagall.
That's true. She's still around.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. I mean,
And then
I had a question.
when you transform, like if I took hair from like a baby and now it's 20 years later, but like what if I still have that same baby hair? Am I
Same
going to turn
DNA
into the
though.
baby or am I going to turn into the adult?
Dear Joe.
I think it's the same DNA, so you would turn into what they are at that moment in time.
But at the same time, you don't even have to use hair, so it could be any piece of them.
toenail.
Can you do it with saliva?
Probably. You just need a bit of
I mean,
whoever
you
you're
could do
turning
like a
into.
DNA test.
You trying to
with
drink a
saliva, so-
loogie?
Yeah. As if it's not disgusting enough.
That's true.
It's like mud, isn't it?
No, overcooked cabbage. Blech.
Hey, there's worse things.
I
in
wouldn't
life.
taste like that.
I have questions too.
Mine is pretty simple.
Do it.
Do you? I don't know if you guys remember this, but when you were reading,
I remember all things
Chamber
Harry Potter.
for the first time, did you think Malfoy was the heir of Slytherin as you were reading it?
Yes.
I want to say yes.
I think
Yeah,
I did.
because growing up, I mean, oh my gosh, when people were like, Snape's so gonna be okay in the end, he's gonna be fine. I'm like, no.
And
So
I
of
never
course
read it.
I went with whatever Harry and them were thinking, because I
Right,
had no
yeah.
ideas of my own as a kid.
yeah.
I've never read any of these books, so
That's true. She can't even.
I want to say, however, Joe like wanted your mind to go before she like
That's
switched
how it
it.
went,
That's
yeah.
how my brain
Yeah,
went. You know.
yeah, sames. If you could Polyjuice potion cross with an animal, what animal would you do that with?
A cat.
Yeah.
Easy.
I would
peasy.
say a cat or like a bird because it'd be cool to fly.
Yeah, but like if you take it, like
But you're like a
Hermione,
person
wasn't
animal.
really a cat. She just like had cat features. So like, would you
Oh.
even be able to actually fly?
If she had wings, maybe.
I guess, but like, would they?
I bet
sprout big
Hermione's
enough?
balance was amazing because of her tail.
True.
What animal did you say?
I said a cat or a bird.
What kind
But
of
only if it
bird?
worked properly.
Yeah. What kind of bird?
Like if you did penguin, they can't fly.
Or an ostrich?
They can belly slide.
That'd be
That would be
cool.
fun.
I don't know.
Ooh, or I would want to do an otter.
Pig.
They're so cute.
Around in mood. Would you be like a well-kept pig, like one of those like teacup pigs that
No,
people put
I
like,
would
clothes
be
on?
a pig in the mud.
A pig in-
rolling around, eating some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one that people don't want to eat though.
I'm not bacon. I would be bear. I'd be Fozzie Bear. Oh gosh, I would have the life.
That's really why she's asking this question. 'Cause she just wants to say she wants to.
And it's gotta talk about Fozzie Bear.
Well, I would want to specifically be Iggy, probably.
He's got the life too.
Oh, he does when he sleeps. I wish that I could do that.
Just sleep like that.
Like upside down, little
I bet
fangs
a-
out.
I bet a cat nap
Paws
would be
all,
the
like,
best sleep of
cute.
your life.
Oh man, he's got the life.
Yep.
We just give him food. He sleeps all day, walks
Scoop his
around
poop.
when he wants to.
Somebody scoops your poop.
Yeah,
If you
the
could,
gives me treats when I look cute.
if you could Polyjuice potion yourself into any celebrity, who would you pick?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I know who Katie would pick.
I don't envy their lives.
Who would I pick?
Only for like a day or like
Actually,
maybe 2
I guess
hours.
she's probably not a celebrity, but I would say Jamie Dornan's wife.
Accurate. I like
an
that.
actress, I believe.
She is.
Yeah.
Amelia.
Wishbone.
A person.
Darn.
You just said celebrity.
I don't know.
Celebrity person.
Who do I like? Who do I like, Sarah?
Oh, you know, I know who you'd have Marty transform into. Probably
Yeah, you
Chris
do.
Pratt.
Yeah, you do.
Love me some Chris Pratt. He's not married anymore. Who? What's her face that he makes out with on Jurassic World? Then
Oh yeah.
Ron Howard's daughter. I can't remember her name.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
She's Ron Howard's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I can see it now.
Yeah. You know,
Red hair.
hand-me-down roads.
I don't know who I would be.
It's hard because I honestly I don't envy celebrities' lives, so I'm like, ugh.
I think I'd want to be Emma Watson.
Meg, wouldn't
'cause
you
I
be
just love
Taylor
her.
Swift?
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Yeah, I want to play with Meredith and Olivia. Hello. Taylor Swift.
I think I
Cats.
would want to be a guy just for like 2 hours.
Who would you be?
My first thought was
Be Chris Pratt to my Bryce Dallas Howard.
That'd be so weird.
I just picture that meme of the little elephant with his nose.
oh my god.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind being Chris Pratt, but like I would want to see what it's like to be a guy for like an hour.
An hour would be sufficient, I think, for that. Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
I'd be over it.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah.
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 Katie, did you pick?
No, she didn't.
Oh, I thought it was picked
Jamie
for me.
Dornan's wife.
Yeah.
Because she's an actress.
And a singer.
Singer.
I have one more question, and this one's not as silly. But why do you guys think Malfoy Sr. didn't tell Malfoy about Hagrid being the first time?
He must know.
Yeah, like I
You
can't
figure he
see-
would know because he comes
Maybe
to the
not.
the
Maybe
what's
he's
it?
not
Maybe
allowed.
he doesn't know because maybe they like kind of kept it as hushed up as possible because did he even go to Azkaban the first time?
I
No.
don't think so.
So maybe
No.
they were because he convinces Dibbit, him being Dumbledore, convinces Dibbit
That's
to let him on.
true.
And
Yeah.
So maybe they just try to be like, because
So you really don't think he knows?
Say I'm a parent and I hear that he let a monster loose that killed someone,
And he's
'cause
there
we
at the
don't know
school.
that he's innocent yet.
True.
I would be livid. I'd be like, I want him gone. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
Right.
fastest person, and you don't.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess I always assumed that Malfoy Sr. knew it all.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
feel
Until
like
we
if-
just had this little conversation here, but
Yeah.
it makes sense that he wouldn't know. Actually,
If he did know, he would have no problem telling
because
that
he
to
would
Draco.
have, and he would have tried to get Hagrid out even more.
yeah.
So you know what I mean.
Hands down.
All right. Any other questions for our lightning bolt round?
Oh, I do have one. Sorry.
Okay, no.
I just got
Go.
real excited. And I need to stop snapping my fingers.
I like
What
it.
color do you think your
Ooh, that's a good
Polyjuice
question.
potion would turn into? And it can't be like cute colors.
time.
Can't
Did
be
we?
cute colors. What did I say?
Yeah, we did colors
say
and we
purple?
did what the taste would be.
did we? Oh yeah,
Because
we
I
Mine
said
tastes like
I
pot
said
roast,
yellow,
probably.
orange, or pizza. You
But
did
let's
say
do
pot
gross,
roast.
though. Like let's do something gross.
All right.
Okay. Like it can't be pleasant.
Yeah.
A loogie.
Because I don't think even.
Oh, we're not. Is it too much too soon? Sorry.
Who do you think would? Okay, go on. Well, I'll answer this. Then I'm gonna.
Do I have to pick a color? Because that's like a color and a texture.
pick a? You think it's gonna taste
So-
like boogers? You are gonna taste like boogers?
No, I think I'm going to
Oh,
taste like
loogie.
sunshine and rainbows, but I can't say. You said it can't be
Sunshine
cute.
dust. You taste like sudden poo.
like Hermione's like, oh Harry, you taste much better.
You look much tastier than.
Oh, you
Crabbe
look
Goyle.
much.
What do I
tastier than
eat a
Crabbe
lot
Goyle.
of right now?
Didn't his turn like gold?
Clementines. Mine's going to taste like
no, it
clementines.
has to be gross.
What do you...
Loogies is fine.
oh, okay, Loogies.
Yeah.
I just thought I thought I had heard boogers, but Loogies is fine.
Loogie.
But you can't have the same answer either.
Ha. Can't take my Loogies.
I don't want them.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, what a better question was like, what do you think we're each gonna taste like? Like not you, but like what do you?
Does
think,
it have
like,
to be gross?
No, I
It has
don't
to be
think.
not good. Like you can't be like, I think you're gonna taste like, a chocolate.
I just go
cake.
by what people like eat a lot of. Like you would probably taste like a really snotty cold brew coffee.
But it is really good, and I hate to admit that.
It is
so
good. I tasted
pretentious.
it.
No, I just the whole.
I
cold brew
grind my
story.
own beans.
I didn't want to like it.
No, I think it's fine. Marty grinds his own beans, I'm cool.
So does my dad, but they don't make cold brew coffee.
She just wheezed that out. No.
What do
Can
you
we?
think? What do you think we all taste like?
Okay, so you're-
Polyjuice wise and color, but it can't be like.
Can it be literally something I think you would taste like?
yeah.
It doesn't have to be gross.
It doesn't have to be gross, but I don't want it to be like super good
Because
either.
if I'm going gross with you, you taste like a fart.
Yeah, I would say that I would taste like a fart.
You're
I
a
know.
sneeze because you're always sneezing.
Oh my god!
I don't know about you. I'm gonna say cat hair because you're kissing those cats a lot.
Oh,
That's
but
fair.
cats smell so good. They're sunshine
You
fur.
want to eat cat hair?
Sunshine fur.
I love whenever
I think
Teddy
she would
smells like
taste
sunshine
sweat.
fur.
Who?
Katie?
Sweat?
She does
Thanks.
sweat a lot?
I'm
Well,
not saying
sometimes
she
I
smells a lot, but,
guess.
like, I know
She
that's,
would smell
if I
like
get anxious, I get
BO.
sweaty. Anxiety.
Or
I
taste
like
like-
that.
That's the way I'm thinking. It's because she gets anxious.
So
yeah.
Katie would smell or taste like BO.
Okay.
No, there's a difference between sweat and BO.
Because I know
I think our brunch is ready. He said noon, and I heard glass.
I smell good right now.
Anyways, okay. Good things though.
sure.
Cold brew coffee. Pumpkin spice latte.
Yes. That's Megan, by the way, so we know. Sarah was cold brew coffee. Megan
That's
was pumpkin spice
basic
latte.
Notice how you're
knowledge.
all like coffee. Katie, I can't.
A vanilla
Winter
latte.
spice tea.
Yeah.
We're sadly out of that.
I would say Katie would be tea because she drinks a lot of tea.
And I don't know why it all went liquid, but I know that like that's like something you guys like are passionate about. So that's my guess. Those are my guesses.
Tiffany would taste like Wada.
She's flavorless and bland.
She would
Drinks a
taste
lot of water.
grossly would taste like dog slobber
Yes.
and
Yeah.
sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Those things happen to me frequently. What good thing would I taste like?
I said water.
But it's your turn. You got to pick a gross thing.
What would you taste good wise? Let me think.
You think?
Well, it's gonna be kind of gross, but like it probably would taste like meat. But I would enjoy that.
You are correct. I would probably taste like meat. I eat a lot of meat.
Yeah, you're a big meat eater.
I'm a carnivore. All right.
But like a good, like a good steak.
I'm like a good
when
marbled
you're
ribeye,
watching,
baby.
Yeah, like when you're watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Violet's eating the gum.
Yeah.
And she's
yes.
like, oh my god, I can taste the gravy going down my throat, like nice and hot or whatever. I could taste
that.
Violet. You're
A pot roast.
Violet.
It's me.
Yeah.
I think that you would badly taste like baby powder because you're pregnant.
The baby powder smells really good.
It does smell
sure it
good, but I
doesn't taste
can't imagine it
Yeah.
would taste good.
So you'd like smell her potion and be like, oh, it's not going to be too bad.
And then you drink it.
It's like chalk.
Yeah.
Sounds like
fragrance.
Tiffany. She looks real nice on the outside, but she can cut you.
Ooh,
I'm like
say,
a Sour Patch Kid.
I'll say gross. Oh my god. I'd say gross
She's sweet, now
Tiffany
she's sour.
tastes like chalk because she's a teacher.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I like chalky things. Like I like Necco wafers.
But like, what are you guys saying for me though? Because Tiffany was
No. She's got to pick a nice thing. I want to hear a nice
Chalk
thing.
could
A
be
nice
like
thing?
she said.
That was my gross thing.
That's true.
What I taste like?
Probably pot roast, to be honest.
Ooh, I know.
What?
Chipotle chips and verde salsa.
Yes.
Actually, that's what she said she wanted hers to taste like was the verde sauce.
I've eaten so much of that lately. So
That's
good.
funny.
All right.
Yeah. Who else has to go?
I've lost
Only
track.
one's ever
know.
done you. You did all of us.
I thought
we did
you-
all of you.
Oh, okay. So you.
So I have to go. Oh, I did Tiffany. Okay.
Yeah.
I
so
did
you have to
Tiffany
do
too.
this.
Sarah, good taste would be an egg sandwich.
Yeah.
My mouth just. I love a good egg sandwich.
And bad, I would say a fart, but that's already been said.
I mean, call a spade here, guys.
People don't know I do this.
It's all exposed
Everybody
now.
toots.
Or I would say for me, bad, you would taste like black coffee because I don't like that.
Black
I love-
coffee's so good.
So good.
Katie. Oh, I have to do Katie.
I
Yeah,
can
you
do
do.
Sarah though if you want me to just do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Finish it up.
God, I had one for you, and now it's gone. Oh, good would be sausages.
Yeah.
It had to be said.
Bad, like I mean, I can't get away from what everyone else said. I just can't.
She is a fart, guys.
Wait, I'll just say kimchi.
I love it. Okay.
All right,
so
Katie,
you do Katie.
good. I'm gonna say very
this is concerning me because like you know me the most out of anybody. So
good. I would say specifically Twining's Christmas tea.
Ooh.
With milk and sugar, specifically. Bad. That wasn't because it was going to be like really bad.
Maybe it is.
I don't know. Katie's like not really gross.
Thank you.
She's very like hygienic and very. I know this is a cop out, isn't it?
Yep. You got to answer it. We're going to sit here till you do.
Alas.
Earwax.
Earwax.
What do you taste like, Fuzzy Bear?
What do you like that's gross?
I could think of something for you.
Salad.
No, I could think of something for you. Black licorice.
Oh, black licorice. Oh, she likes black licorice. It's gross.
Not a fan.
Those people are few and far between.
Like if you could get her a bag of just black jelly beans,
I'd eat them.
I'm sure you can get that somewhere.
You can. Yeah.
Send them our way because Kate will eat them.
Yeah.
Mag would taste good, either like a Reese cup or mac and cheese.
I would like either of those.
I don't know about. Oh, bad would be socks.
The doity one.
Yeah.
I literally just throw my socks all over the house.
That's why I said it.
You know, we all have our vices.
So. All right, is it time for the fan story?
It
is.
So this week it comes from Catalina Sampaio.
Sure.
I don't know.
Either of those.
So she
I
says,
like that name, Catalina.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
that was my name in Spanish class.
I forgot that we did that.
So she says, hey, Swish and Flickcast. I'm elated to share my story with you and hopefully everyone else. I'm a junior in high school right now and reading chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So let's just say my Hogwarts letter came very late. It's taken a huge amount of willpower for me not to listen ahead in your podcast episodes, but I've managed to listen to only after I finish the chapter.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, well, I hope that we don't ruin things.
I know.
Sorry. I'm just saying, in the very beginning, we said there will be spoilers.
She clearly heard that. So,
I know.
You know. I had always enjoyed the first movie, but didn't watch the rest of them until now. My ex-boyfriend said we should binge watch them in spring break of my sophomore year. I absolutely fell in love with the movies and thankfully did not associate them with the experience of heartache after my breakup. I finally told my mom I wanted to read the books this past February, and she laughed it off, mainly because I've never been an avid reader, unless it was a book assigned to me. So I went out and bought the first book myself and devoured it.
Well, Swish and Flick has assigned these books to you to read.
Yes.
So.
Nice. When I should have been reading 1984 for my AP language class. Oops. Harry Potter's more important.
Oh.
I stumbled upon your podcast when I was on the Quidditch chapter of Sorcerer's Stone, and it has further enhanced my experience of the Potter world and heightened my love for the series. Even though I'm behind you guys in your podcast, I cannot wait to catch up. You guys, the books, and the movies have really brought joy into a very stressful high school year, and I thank you for it. Keep up the good work. P.S. Oh, and by the way, I'm a Gryffindor.
Yeah, you are.
Shout out to her.
Gryffindor.
This is amazing to me. Yes.
Shout out to her, but junior year is a really hard year.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you found an outlet.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
crazy.
I remember junior year being just like especially stressful.
Yeah, because you're like in the middle of your high school experience. There's
I
a
went
lot
to
going
Ireland
on.
my junior year.
Well, isn't that nice? Gosh.
This is incredible to me though, because that's why we're doing it, you know? Like we're doing this for ourselves as much as for anyone else who finds it interesting. So the fact that
we don't care about anybody else but ourselves.
the fact that we're adding to like your journey in your love of Potter, I have to thank you for that.
Yeah.
That makes my heart very happy.
And you're, I love that we're reaching like such a wide range, like age group.
Yeah.
It's really,
all
really
right.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Because like, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong or if I forget, but is she like the first like high school age student that we've like specifically heard from? Like
From what I
heard from-
remember.
We've heard from super
Little.
young kids.
Yeah.
We've heard from a lot of people my age. We've heard from people older than me.
College.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like my age. We're all pretty much very close in age.
None of y'all are going to be dirty 30 yet, though.
2
It's
years.
coming.
But it's
It's
soon.
coming.
Dirty 30.
I can't believe I'm going to be 29 this year.
Crazy and crazy. It's just so weird that, like, because I was reading it in high school, that it's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird that it's like
cool.
so much older now, that there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
To think that, you know,
Yeah.
read them, enjoy them, hope you like us.
So
Because we like you.
Yeah, we do.
and your ears. So thank you, Catalina, for sharing your story.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do some shameless plugging.
Yep. So I'm going to start. This is where we are going to just switch up our episodes a little bit, like we did our social media in the beginning. So we're going to plug some other projects that we're working on
In case you're interested.
in the end, in case you want to learn a little more.
In
So
case you don't have enough of us in your lives.
that's right.
There's plenty more.
There is. This is a lot. So I am also a host on a podcast called Box Trick. This is Tiffany, by the way, if you don't know my lovely voice yet. It is all about video games. I'm on the Nintendo portion of the podcast. My friend Matt Brady and I will discuss anything from Zelda theories to what's coming out for Nintendo Direct.
Pokemon.
And we are currently doing a Pokemon playthrough. Mm-hmm. Matt is playing Red, I am playing Blue, and we are doing a playthrough of every game in the series, so that's going to take up a lot of time.
I love that.
But
fun.
yeah, we're going pretty much gym by gym.
That's nice.
So you can kind of follow along with that. We do interrupt those episodes to do Nintendo Directs and news that comes out about Switch or 3DS stuff. I am also on a podcast called Rebel Watch, and that is an all Star Wars podcast. I am going through a journey through Star Wars as our segment. My friend Ezra Kirk and I, we're going movie by movie and breaking them down. I am a young Padawan learner, and he is a Jedi master teaching me the ways of the Jedi and the Force. So we break those down. And so, yeah, once again, that is Rebel Watch.
And so Katie and I also have a couple projects that we do on the side. We've got our YouTube channel, Main Street 9 3/4, which is basically just following Katie and my adventures through Orlando, because we go down all the time, though we don't have any trips planned this year. But
Basically, it has to do with
A lot of other
anything,
things, though.
anything influenced Disney or Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, or
Hence
just
the name.
Universal in general. But if you go over to our channel, the stuff that's on there now is some of the trips that we did last year. We went and checked out the Hogwarts decorations at Christmas. We went to the celebration of Harry Potter. I just posted our last video on the celebration. So all of our adventures from HP Celebration 2018 are live on YouTube. And then going forward, it's probably going to be like an informational channel a lot until we have another trip planned. We're going to England and Scotland in the fall, and we're definitely going to vlog that entire thing because that has to do with Harry Potter. We're going to lots of Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
So go over to YouTube, check out Main Street 9 3/4. We'll link all of these below as well for you guys so that you can just click to go to the pages, Podbean, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Katie, do you want to do our other project?
Yeah, we just started up a Disney podcast, Meg and I. It's called Grown Up Kids. So we're doing a chronological analysis of most of Walt Disney's animated, live action, and hybrid films.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. We've only got 4 episodes so far, but
We're on Fantasia. Fantasia was just released last weekend. This weekend is going to be The Reluctant Dragon. So when you're listening to this, The Reluctant Dragon will be live.
yes.
And neither of us have seen that before, so that's going to be a fun episode.
That's what's half the fun of this podcast.
And
so.
also for grown-up kids, we're having a guest or two for every episode. So if any of you guys are Disney fans and you have a book, or a Disney movie that you're really passionate about, hit Katie and I up, and we'll see what the schedule is like and see if we can fit you into it.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the whole concept of it. Like, we want to be on it, but we also want a couple other voices with differing opinions or whatever for each episode. So.
yes.
Yep.
And I have nothing going on. Trying to figure out my life and what I want to do with it, and looking for someone to date me. So if you're single
And ready to mingle.
yeah.
Do you want to?
You can email swishflickcast@gmail.com.
Do you want to plug any other, like, just friend stuff, like As Is podcast?
Yeah, so Ezra, who's on Rebel Watch with me, is also doing a podcast with his friend Lane called Up Talking Tolkien. They are doing a reread of the Lord of the Rings series. They did not start with The Hobbit, so they started with
Fellowship.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
And then him and Matt have Bend the Knee,
Bend the
which
Knee.
is
Yep.
Game of Thrones. They're reading the book.
So pretty much,
If you want
our group represents all fandoms.
right.
Yeah. And then
Cover
Katie
a
and
lot of
I,
bases.
Katie and I have a friend, Peter, who does another podcast about Disney called Park Hopper Podcast, where they just talk all things theme parks. They do a lot of Disney, but they've done some like Universal Disney comparisons, a little bit of Cedar Point talk in there, because one of the guys on it, Dom, is from Michigan, so he's been to Cedar Point.
That's cool.
So yeah, if you guys like theme parks, you can check out Park Hopper Podcast too.
Yeah. Basically, we've taken over the podcasting world. All right.
We are
so
podcasting powerhouse.
We are. Great Lakes Pod Patrol. I don't know. I can't remember what someone said. Anyways, that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice!
Swipe or no swiping.
What?
Swipe or no swiping. I never watched Dora the Explorer.
No, I'm 80. We all realize
You
that.
are around children all the time.
All you have to do is
They don't
say
like Dora. That's too little.
you just say it 3 times. He goes, oh man.
We watch Pokemon.